Hey, and welcome back to my Stardew Valley min-max guide using the Skull Cavern method. Today we're finishing out the month, right? We only have 4 days left, and this is going to be our goodbye to the Skull Cavern in spring. But we're going to send it off in a big way because today is Thursday, and as I've mentioned, you can trade 3 prismatic shards for a magic rock candy on Thursdays. Today is a very good luck day. It's actually the spirits are very happy, so it's the best possible luck. And we're gonna get to see and kind of compare something cool because today the steel hoe is ready and I need to upgrade that to gold, which means I can't immediately do a Skull Cavern run and get there early, right? So this is me dropping off the gold hoe. I have a lot of money on hand. And we're going to swing by because this is when we can... this is our only chance to buy deluxe speed grow before we plant starfruits. So as I've mentioned before, I estimate that I can plant 480 starfruits. So I get the 480 deluxe speed grow and then as many starfruits as I can buy because I don't want to pass out with all of that gold on hand. And I'm already in the cavern, but if you noticed, I did get the magic rock candy. So what we can compare today is it's basically how luck can affect a Skull Cavern dive versus using magic rock candy where you get like +5 luck. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be interesting to see how far we can get down today versus tomorrow when I plan on using the magic rock candy. Because of the good luck today, I think we can make up a lot of time that was already wasted, right, doing chores and upgrading the steel hoe. So I think I can get down pretty deep today. It's noon and it's level 10, so keep an eye on that. First treasure chest level. Some bombs, those will be helpful. And I'm just pulling up the wiki because I want to see exactly what the buffs are for magic rock candy. Unfortunately, you can only get... There's a lot of mummies there, wow. You can only get one at a time. When the 1.4 content update first came out, I believe you could trade as many prismatic shards as you had for rock candies, but they are pretty OP. So I guess that makes sense that you could only get one a week. But yeah, the buffs include +2 mining, +5 luck, +1 speed, +5 defense, +5 attack. That's dope. And it also lasts for 8 minutes and 24 seconds of real time, so that's hours and hours. If you're wondering when you're doing a Skull Cavern dive, whether you should, if you only have one magic rock candy, whether you should use it immediately when you get in there, or whether you should wait for, the deeper levels to use it. So basically the beginning of the day or the end of the day. My recommendation is to use it as soon as you get in there, and that's for 2 reasons. One, because you want to dive as deeply as possible initially. Magic rock candy helps you do that much more than something like a spicy eel. And then also, once you get down to the deeper levels, you're going to be spending time bombing more and using your pickaxe more because there's a lot of iridium ore, right? And that's what you're down there for, at least for these type of runs, right? You're looking for iridium ore, prismatic shards, maybe a lot of levels so you can find treasure chest floors. So it makes more sense to me to use it early in the day. That means you'll get down deeper in the mine or in the cavern, ideally, and then you can spend that time farming for iridium ore once the candy expires. So 6:30 and we're at level 36. Considering we got there late, that's okay. I'm really hoping for like a lucky shaft or something. Yeah, maybe one of these days I'm sure you can revert the patches and, you know, on a different file, I'll go to the Desert Trader when I have a bunch of prismatic shards and buy a ton of magic rock candies and maybe test how far you can get down. And I'm 95% sure that we've done several runs in the Skull Cavern so far, right? But I don't think we've hit level 100. I did spoil that last episode. I mean, so you know, we do hit beyond level 100. But that's a couple reasons, right? We don't have our combat till level 10 yet. I don't have the ring set up, although it's not going to do... My ideal ring setup is not going to add additional damage, but having the burglar's ring will just help with better drops. And we kind of conserve staircases more than I really need to. Just because it's early on. I know I have some stacks of stone back at the farm, but once we really get, you know, this operation going, then you can be very liberal with your staircases, and once you have the additional combat, you can kill enemies more quickly. I believe it's the Brute perk, which adds even more damage. So a combination of those things. Eventually, you can just wait for best luck days. You can save all of your magic rock candies. Let's say, you know, for 2 weeks, you don't go down into the Skull Cavern or you don't use the magic rock candies. Wait for the best luck day, and suddenly, I believe 2 magic rock candies will get you through an entire day. And that plus the, you know, additional damage that we talked about, plus liberal use of the staircases, I think you can get very deep in the cavern. So we kind of turned this around. It's level 63, and we still have an hour left. We've been fighting bats as we go. Another good pit to get to level 70. And, you know, this is an example of live and die by the shafts. Even though we got here kind of late, we were able to dive deep, and in my inventory, I think I only started out with 2 or 3 iridium ore. So all of this right now, there's another prismatic shard. Level 9 combat, that's great. It looks like we got 3 prismatic shards, 7 diamonds, 93 iridium ore. It's great. It's going to rain tomorrow, and today is a good humor luck day. So the only thing I need to do is pop in the iridium and clear out my inventory, and then I'm ready for the magic rock candy run. Been hyping this up, so hopefully... I forget what totals I get out of this, but knowing how deep I go, it should be pretty good. I need to keep track of these things and maybe later on start recording my personal best for how deep I go into the cavern. Yeah, that first level, in hindsight, it's not a great layout. I could have just skipped it with a staircase. Here, I should have skipped it for a staircase. Instead, I'm, you know, bombing for some pits, hoping for some pits. But that's all wasted time. And that's a terrible pit. The lowest you can drop is 3 levels, so it just sucks when you see a pit, you get excited, you're like, oh, I can drop 15 levels? No, you're going down 3. I'm wasting time collecting ore. I understand I need the ore, but you know, once that pit spawns, just hop in there. I would consider this pace slow at this point. Level 22 by 11 a.m. But a purple slime egg. That's interesting. Right now, at least for this run, and you know how early I'm into this file. I will just sell that because I think it's worth something like 5,000 gold. But purple slime eggs are great to, you know, build a hutch of purple slimes. It's not really profitable to do something like that. You don't get a lot of iridium compared to just going into the Skull Cavern. But a few episodes ago, or maybe last episode, I was talking about some slime hutch experiments that I want to do. And that purple slime egg will come in handy. I do know that I sell it because I'm trying to get as much gold on hand as possible. That's a nice iridium node, and we get a prismatic shard out of that. Dope. Friday, 2 p.m., and we are in an infested level. I'll tell you what level we're in as soon as we get out of this. 51. So that was a great shaft that we just hopped in because I think I was like something like 36. That's kind of saving the run right now. Unfortunately, I feel like I've only gotten maybe 2 or 3 battery packs from Iridium Bat so far. I've mentioned before that that's going to continue to be a bottleneck for lightning rods. Or I'm sorry, just not being able to you know, make lightning rods. I need the battery packs as many as possible for the crystallariums. And I think last episode I said something like, "Oh, hoping, you know, iridium bats will drop diamonds." And no, I meant battery packs. Level 59 with a shaft in front of us, and it's 540. And it's only 4 levels. And I hope this goes down as an example of you can start off slow and you can get really late into a run. It could be late in the day and suddenly you just start dropping. You start finding pits everywhere. They're deep. 8 levels like that, that's good. Suddenly we're in the 70s at 74. And you can see, you know, iridium is starting to spawn more frequently. We have over 100 right now of iridium ore. Only 1 prismatic shard, and you know, it did cost 3 prismatic shards to get the magic rock candy. So you do kind of want to, at the very least, break even. There's a lot of bats. Oh boy. That was 5 bats on screen at one point, but I did see a battery pack drop. There we go, that wasn't bad. I have jumped down a pit before, and I know I've said that it is rare, but one time I jumped down, took some damage, and as soon as I start walking out, there's 5 serpents in front of me. That's when you go into like panic mode, like, oh no 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 no. Suddenly, this doesn't seem so bad because of those pits. We're now at level 93 and it's 940. And this is what I'm talking about because iridium ore is spawning more frequently. It also oftentimes is scattered around, so you're gonna have to take the time to mine it all out. And that's why I prefer the magic rock candy to use it early rather than later in the day. I forget what time the buffs wore off. I don't have the rock candy buffs on anymore. It probably wore off, if I had to guess, somewhere around 5 p.m. And there we go. That pit put us at level 100. And there was no treasure chest. That's interesting. So I stand corrected. We definitely hit level 100 at some point. Because otherwise there would be a treasure chest there, I think. Or you know what? It is a possibility that Mr. Key, you have to proc the quest for him to be there on level 100 to collect his reward. And you can't proc that so early in spring. So it is a possibility that there's no treasure chest there. It's just Mr. Key, and I'm not far enough in the game to get there, so I get nothing. Also, if you noticed, it was there was a pit on level 96 when I dropped down. That pit could have been more than 4 levels, but the game, it didn't used to have this. The game now has basically a stop always at level 100. So you can jump into a pit at level 99 and it's still going to stop you at level 100. That can be kind of annoying. So we're just wrapping up the day. Only 2 prismatic shards, but that is a lot of iridium ore. We made it to level 107. And let me just pop up. Let's see. 297 iridium ore. So now we have to smelt that. I also didn't notice the treasure chest. We had a red slime egg. So a lot of red slime egg, purple slime egg. That's great. That's it for the Skull Cavern in spring. And this is also the second to last episode of the spring series. I did mention I will do a kind of follow-up video and maybe like a grand finale to show you guys how everything turned out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.